Well, the crypto market is going absolutely insane today with something like Bitcoin now pushing up to its new yearly highs. And now because of that, of course, I wanted to give you an update of what in the world is happening with Bitcoin. But of course, we will start with the altcoin market just to get a feel for how the market's doing, what general sentiment is, and then we'll of course funnel that down into Bitcoin. Now, what we can see here is that again, yes, this market is going absolutely nuts. Bitcoin up 9% in the last 7 days, Ethereum at 8%, BNB at 7%, Solana at 3%, even after an outage, XRP at 4%, not necessarily surprising, and many more. Now, in the last 24 hours alone, if we want to trickle that down to some of your smaller cryptos, we have been seeing absolutely ridiculous gains. BSV up 7%, CAS at 7, DYM at 10, Pyth at 8, AKT at 11, Rune at 18, Tau at 13, Beam at 10. It's been absolutely nuts what this market's been doing, especially in the last 24 hours. Now, even if you want to go to this smallest of the small plays, dude, we talked about a crypto over in HG Access, which is linked down below if you want to go check it out, that we called at 2 cents, 2.3. Okay. Now, since then, just 24 hours later, this meme token that we were talking about there went up 160%, all the way up to over 6 cents. Absolutely ridiculous, absolutely insane, right? And so you can see here, it's not even just Bitcoin, it's the whole entire market, but I do believe that it's because of Bitcoin. Now, I believe that this entire market is moving because of the liquidity and because of the injection of inflows that we're seeing into Bitcoin from many of your more institutional investors. I mean, we actually did see what they were saying over at Crypto Quant, in which their head of research, Julio Moreno, said that prices found a bottom as sell pressure was exhausted once short-term holder unrealized profit margins became zero, but that more whales were buying Bitcoin this year. Julio then added that their total holdings are now at the highest since November of 2022 at 3.9 billion Bitcoin. And so what you can see is that we are seeing these whales injecting a shit ton of liquidity into the crypto ecosystem by purchasing Bitcoin, by scooping up as much as they can, removing it from the circulating supply, causing that supply crunch. It's been absolutely insane, right? Now, on top of that, we knew that last week CoinShares reported that there was $702 million of inflows just into Bitcoin itself, in a time in which we saw something like Ethereum at just -6 million, multi-asset at 2 million, Solana at just 13 million, clearly going to show that the big money right now is focused on Bitcoin. But as many of you know, even in these moments in which Bitcoin does extremely well, oftentimes that money and that liquidity does trickle from Bitcoin down into your major alts, and then from your major alts down into your micro caps, which is the reason why we're seeing so much of this market climbing. Now, on top of all these things, we're also seeing liquidations kind of increasing that pressure to the upside. What you can see here is that notably $41 million was liquidated from traders anticipating a decrease in Bitcoin's price, while long position holders lost about $6.25 million just in the last week to a couple days. Meaning that as people were shorting Bitcoin with the GBTC sell pressure and the emotions and everything getting to them, thinking it was going to continue lower, of course, we now saw the price move to the upside as that short squeeze has kind of started, forcing $50 million or $40 million in losses for those shorters just in the last couple days. And of course, you guys know when liquidations occur, that is generally going to be like fuel. It's going to be like gas to really push the price in the opposite direction, just depending on where those liquidations are coming from, because those whales want to liquidate you. They want to take all your crypto. It's just what happens, right? And so because all these things, because we are seeing this liquidity being heavily injected into Bitcoin through these institutional investors, we're really starting to see that mixed with these liquidations create strong price surges even throughout the entire crypto ecosystem. Now, as I mentioned before, looking at Bitcoin specifically, we can see that this thing is attempting to set a new all-time high from the last few years. I told you all the last time we talked about Bitcoin that it was looking at an inverse head and shoulders pattern. And I said, if it is capable of breaking this inverse head and shoulders, if it is capable of clearing this $43.5 thousand level, you need to be on the lookout. You need to be on the lookout because realistically, our breakout target is then positioned at $49.5 thousand, which is a little bit higher than that previous high of the year. And of course, where we are at now is that we got that breakout and this thing is looking to push towards the upside. It is looking to reach that breakout target. But of course, with this amount of liquidity right here, all of the sell pressure that will enter in once we do reach this, of course, $47,000 to $49,000 level, there is no way of being 100% sure that it is going to clear it, but it is a great sign that it is attempting to do so. Now, those of you who did get in on that trade once we did get the breakout, you are looking at some beautiful gains of roughly 8.7 to 9%. So congratulations to you. If you do want to trade Bitcoin yourself, you can use the the Margex link down below for a few reasons. They have some of the best fees for Bitcoin that you will ever find. On top of that, you can get a couple $100s in deposit bonuses when you do sign up with my link down below. You don't need to use a VPN from anywhere in the world. You don't need to KYC, meaning you don't need to give them any of your personal information. You can quite simply just deposit your funds and start trading on leverage with stop losses, take profits, and everything that you need. Again, just use my link down in the description below. Of course, I am an affiliate of theirs. Now, with that in mind, I will just go ahead and say that at this given point, it does seem as if this rally could easily continue for Bitcoin. But from a TA perspective, I would definitely kind of calm down a little bit right now. While we're approaching this 49.5 to 47.25 level here, expect a lot of resistance, expect liquidity, expect pullbacks, expect the bears to try to force the price back to the downside. I'm sure people are going to get a little bit crazy to the upside, and some liquidations could also fuel a bit of a pullback. So maybe just kind of relax right now, and I wouldn't be doing anything too crazy, especially with like leverage buys or anything of that nature, until we were able to clear $49.5 thousand and then enter into a yearly price discovery. Okay, if you were going to be buying, you should have been buying on the breakout like we talked about. Now's the time to maybe relax and kind of wait this thing out. If Bitcoin's price does roll back to the downside here, I would be looking to get some dollar cost averages going, because I do think establishing a higher low and looking for a continuation does seem to be a card that's clearly on the table. But even if its price does continue upwards and break through 49.5K, even at that point, I think some smaller buys wouldn't be a bad idea whatsoever. But I personally just wouldn't be buying right now until there is a little bit more clarity as to what its price is going to do after this pump and getting really close to its breakout targets to the upside. So of course, I will continue to update you as this does play out. If you want to know when I'm buying, selling, and things of that nature, you can go ahead and check out my Patreon link down below. And also don't forget, we did just post over an HG Access, which is linked down below, about a crypto that went up 160% just in 24 hours. So with that in mind, there's a lot going on, so make sure that you stay as up to date as possible by subscribing to the channel if you are new. With that in mind, of course, I do appreciate you for tuning in, and I will see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.